one commissioner. Do you remember the first time I met you? I just thought about this earlier.
I'm trying to remember.
It's been a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I first got my job here,
I don't even remember the first time I met my wife.
No, that's important. That's way more important. So you were, I had just gotten hired for BBB, and you were on my outgoing board, so I had to bring you your board gift. I was so nervous to bring it to you.
Okay, that's right.
So, anyway, long time ago.
I do remember.
Yes. So I just remember you had a red door back then.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Judge Franklin believes in the power of public service to affect positive change in our communities. He served for many years as City of Tyler Fire Chief, which is when I met you, as well as General Manager for ETMC EMS. Commissioner Franklin was born and raised in Tyler and has been married to his wife, Valley, for 39 years.
40 now.
Oh,
40.
Wow. Okay.
Fun fact. Fun fact. Yeah.
Fun fact?
Yeah, that was it. I got
40
another
years?
one. I got another one. I'll share it.
Okay,
Go ahead.
They now live in Bullard, and together they have 3 children and 4 grandchildren. What do your grandkids call you?
Do what?
What do your grandkids call you?
Chief.
Oh,
yeah.
That's nice.
I'm Chief, and my wife is Queenie.
Oh, I like that too.
Those are 2 of the hardest words for little kids to say, too. Yeah.
Hilarious. Judge Franklin has spent decades in public service, law enforcement, and county government. He's here with the advice that most of us need to hear, and with the understanding that you can't lead others well until you've been honest with yourself first. So get comfortable and lean in, and please help me welcome Judge Neal Franklin.
All right. Thank you so much. I will need the clicker.
I'll switch with you now. Here we go.
All right. My fun fact. I want to start. Oh, you're getting it?
Yep.
Let's see.
Good. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, my fun fact is I dated a girl in high school for about 2 years. It was pretty steady, you know, and her birthday was February 1st. I dated a girl in college, and it ended kind of abruptly. I dated a girl in college, and her birthday was February 1st, and it ended pretty abruptly. I met my wife, and I said, hey, when's your birthday? February 1st.
What?
And I went, could this be the third crazy? But it wasn't. It was wonderful. She still doesn't know about the other 2. So, yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that, should I? Okay. And is that going out on film right now? Oh.
We'll share it with her.
Okay. We're going to edit that. Okay. But my wife has turned out wonderfully. Yeah. All right. Oh, there we go. All right. What actually makes you happy? I know y'all are expecting all this technical stuff, but I'm just talking about what makes you happy. And you have to participate in this, or I'll just stay up here all day. What makes you happy? Come on. Yes.
I'd like to see my daughter graduate from college.
Oh, yes. More money in your bank account. Yes. All right. And what else? What else? I can tell you, grands will make you happy. Right, Brand? Yeah? You got a new grand? What else?
Time with the family.
Time with the family. That's really important. And you know, in leadership, you need time with your family a lot. You need to do that. So there's a great practice that someone taught me a long time ago is to count your blessings at night when you go to bed, and then remember them in the morning when you get up. And then you're kind of in control of your mood. If you're not doing that, sometimes your mood can go all over the place because all your worries, budget stuff that I'm dealing with now can overwhelm you. But if you really focus on your blessings, it changes your day. So I'm going to discuss control in a little bit. My father-in-law, and I shared this at one of my State of the County addresses, his motto was, be happy, damn it. So he forced happiness on people. He would tell his kids, be happy, damn it. And I'd ask him one time, I said, so what does that mean? He says, it means be happy. Just be happy and change your mood and do what you can. But I really think you can mentally and internally adjust to happy. I really believe that. So I end up playing a game. It's kind of with myself that what if, or just if, even if, you know, but it's If only, maybe that's even better. If only. So I know a guy who said, if only I had a boat, my life would be perfect. It would just be perfect. You know the best 2 days of boat ownership is? Buying it and selling it. Yeah, and I look at him and I think, oh, if that's all you think is going to do it. And you know what? My go-to, if only, is to be completely out of debt. For me, I think, man, that would just, but you can't live your life waiting on that. You can't. You've got to continue living. What are y'all's if onlys? Do y'all play that game? If only I can get my daughter out of college. You know, that's one of them. If only I could win the lottery. You know what? Years ago, when it first came out, my wife and I prayed. Man, we prayed for that lottery. That wasn't in God's plan. So, yeah. What else? If only. Yes. More time. Yeah. Yeah. More time for family, yourself. Yeah. Oh, more time with them. That's perfect. Yeah. Yeah, we do always look back. Yeah. Yeah. That's great. All right. All right. So this one, don't stress over things you can't control. So you tell me, what are things that you cannot control? Other people. Hey, there's some knuckleheads out there, aren't there? Yeah, there are. We can be honest in here. Yeah. So, crazy boss, a crazy boss, frustrating employees sometimes, downsizing at work, you can't control that. Sometimes things happen and you can't control it. So what should our focus be as we look at this? Not this, but what? What we can control. Yeah, what can we control? So I heard a funny thing not too long ago that said we used to care about what we look like in pictures. And some of us still, you want to look good in pictures and all that. But as you get older, you care about what you look like in x-rays and MRIs. So that's more like me. Yeah. Okay, so what about procrastination? Procrastination. Who procrastinates in here? I am like the king of procrastination, and I can't help it. I try to do tips. Brian gave me tips, but I will wait till the last second to do something, and somehow I'm able to pull it off. And that's the worst thing because it reinforces it. Like, oh, I'm good. I'm good. So what else for y'all? What else can you control? Yes. Yes, how you react. And that's probably the biggest key we ought to focus on is how do we react to those adverse situations, something we can't control. And so that's really good. What about control? Yes, Brian? Yes, developing that. That is great. And I know that rest, sleep, are these things you can control? Sometimes you have insomnia, but planning it is better. And you know that what I used to laugh at my parents about, that 9 o'clock, I'm like, man, y'all were smart. Y'all knew what you were talking about. 9 o'clock's pretty good to go lay vertical. Yeah, it's pretty good. All right. Exercise. Is it something we can control? Yeah, but then work gets in the way, schedules get in the way. You got to take 4 kids to 4 different schools. Yeah, how about that? Yeah, it's tough. What about screen time? Can we control screen time? Who's guilty? Yeah, I'm going to talk about that more in just a minute. So, all right. Okay, what? Yeah, what you eat and drink. Yeah, your diet and all that. There are things you can control that will make us be able to handle the stuff we cannot control better. So, all right. So it is okay if somebody doesn't like you. It really, truly is. That one was a hard one for me. I want to be liked. I do. It's just in my nature. I want to be liked, and I think the majority, raise your hand. Do you like to be liked? Yeah. It's something that we really do like. So I've struggled with it. Do you ever have to compromise? This is something to think about. Do you ever have to compromise to make somebody like you? You don't have to answer this. But just think about it. Have you ever had to compromise something, make a decision because a big portion of the crowd wanted you to make that particular decision? Maybe. And even though in your heart you felt, I really should make this other decision. Well, it can be. Yeah, peer pressure, that's part of it. And so if you're not liked, this is one thing I want you to do. So which hurts worse, actually? Can you please everybody? No. So which hurts worse, if you self-compromise or if you disappoint somebody with your decision? Self-compromise. I think if you look back and you've compromised and you've done something, that's the one that's going to wake you up at night and you're going to go, oh my goodness, I had an opportunity to lead and do the right thing. And so I think it's challenging right then. So what if they have a good reason for not liking you? What if you do a little self-examination, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. If they have a valid reason, do you need to look inside yourself and determine, what you could work on and be better? If it's not valid, which is most of the time the case, what should be your reaction? Okay? If they dislike you for no reason at all, do you believe there is a chance that you'll be able to suddenly convince them to love and cherish you? You won't be able to. These people will not be that way. And I'm a forgiver. I'm just one of those people that I realized years and years ago to forgive. Because in that relationship, somebody offended you. They made fun of you. They were a mean girl, and they made fun of you in middle school. And you've hated them ever since. And we've all guilty. But if you're hanging on to that burden of not forgiving them, you're the only one burdened. That lady's at the beach having fun. She hadn't thought about you since she picked on you. So I want y'all to think about that be a forgiver in that scenario. So mental health is part of my career. Yes, I'm crazy sometimes, but it's in the fire service. I started getting involved because we responded in EMS 2 cases, and then I was the general manager in EMS, had more of that, and then with just in the hospital, in the ER, the emergency department, we had a lot of issues with that, and then I ended up being the county judge, and that's my judicial duty, is mental health commitment. So I've been involved in it a lot of years, and I see the worst of the worst. And I hate to tell y'all, but we have a lot of folks in our community. We have set records lately on the number of cases that I've dealt with within my court. What happens is a police officer, law enforcement officer, sheriff's office will take someone to the hospital, and they'll do a POW. They get to a scene, they'll do a peace officer's warrant and take them. But other families sometimes take them to the hospital. So I have to do an emergency detention warrant on these people. Well, then they go for help, like out at UT North. They go out there. And then when they want to get out, go back home. So they come to me for our hearing. And we hold this hearing. And then I look at them and say, what's your home life like? It's really good. It's a court. We have witnesses, we have psychiatrists, we have defense attorney, all that, prosecutor, and I get to ask a lot of questions with them. But I have to determine, is their home life the best next step for them? And majority of the time, it's not. There's usually someone back there that they used to do drugs with, and all the different things that intertwine in that. So it's really a challenge. So what I'm telling y'all today is your mental health is more important than any work you do. I'm not saying go quit your job, but I'm saying make sure you take care of yourself when you're doing that. So worry is one of the things that I see all the time. I'm sorry about my papers here. Here, I think I'll just set it up here. All right. Worry is a real issue, and it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. This is where I wanted to talk to y'all about self-awareness. Do you have anxieties and fears? I do. And I've had them in the past. pretty seriously. One of the funniest things, I used to be so scared to speak in front of a group. And I'll give y'all, this is another little tip. Who in here gets nervous in front of a group? We got anybody? Okay, we got a few. So if you do get nervous in front of a crowd, this is my tip. And I know I've shared it with Brian before. Get there early. Shake everybody's hand as they come in, whoever you're speaking to. And they're suddenly now just one of your friends that's out there. So I spoke to the majority of y'all when y'all came in. I don't have that issue anymore because I'm just immersed in talking to people, but it's terrifying when you're not. When I was fire chief, I was on the state fire chief's board, and I had to speak at a convention one time. And it was one of those things that they had the curtain drawn, and they said, and welcome, Neal Franklin. I go out there, and there's 400 peers of mine. And I walked out there, my voice shook, my leg was shaking like this. And I was like, stop, just stop, please don't do this. And my body would not cooperate. It just was going to shake, and I was so nervous. And right then I made a pledge that I was going to get past that to where I could stand up and talk and do those things. So has anybody ever taken a personality test? I know Mr. Brandt does that. Kim does that. A lot of people have taken those things. What are they, surveys, or you find out? Yeah. So I was the fire chief when I took my first one. We had the police chief there, and I was supposed to be one of the macho men. When they finished it and they gave us our report back, they said, okay, sit with all the different letters, that you are. I was over there with the girls. And I was like, this isn't right. And they said, hey, it's just it. And those are tough to do because you don't know, are you lying on them? Are you saying when they ask you a question, especially if it's one of those, I'd like to be a ballerina, or I want to be an astronaut, and you pick which one, I don't want to be either one of them. And so you're trying to answer it, and do you answer it like, I really care about others or something, and you think, oh, that's how I'd like to be. And so you check it. So are we really telling the truth on those? But I would say if telling the truth is always important, my friend mentioned that a while ago from Longview, how telling the truth is important. It's really, really important when you're talking to yourself. So, all right. You got a question? Oh, okay. All right. Trust. So it's vital in all relationships, correct? We've all probably had broken trust in relationships before. It hurts. It really does hurt. So how large is your circle of trust? Anybody want to share? How large is your circle? Very small. Okay. And you know what's nice? You're being honest with us, which is awesome. So. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so you're a broad circle, but they could be picked off, right? In case they fail. Yeah. Okay, I got you. I understand. That's really good that you're talking about that. So you may need to lay down and on a couch and confess everything. No. So y'all find it wise then to limit your circle of trust for the most part, or you can get hurt. That's really important. All right. The rule I've always used is how much I share with somebody else. What happens if I'm no longer that workmate, or I'm no longer real close with that person? That kind of limits, to me, what I share. But I'm an optimist, and I normally really expect. In fact, I've shared stuff with the world a while ago that I never have. So I will share that. So this is the other key. Ask yourself this: does that friend share stuff with you about their other friends while they're with you? If they're doing that, it's happening the other way too. So you can really kind of guard against yourself. I'm not saying don't have friends, don't do those things. I'm all about collaboration. I'm all about working with others, and I want you to do it, but it takes absolute trust when you're doing that thing. Yes, ma'am. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And we all know those people who spill their guts to, well, I kind of did to some of y'all. Yeah, we all know those people who spill their guts right off the bat and share it with you. And sometimes that's overwhelming. I'm like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know all that. So, all right. If you're killing it, who's had ups and downs in business and in life? Ups and downs. But if you happen to be killing it right now, is everybody happy about that? Not always. What else could happen? Jealousy? Can jealousy happen? And what happens when jealousy jumps on the cell phone and social media, and then they put it out there? Now it can evolve even to dislike, to hatred, to you're even out of your big circle. You're out because you've done that. So you've got to be careful, and you've got to be ready to deal with that. So I want y'all to listen closely to my next piece of advice. Very important here. Never answer criticism on Facebook and social media. Never answer criticism. If indeed they've got a legitimate, like something happened, reach out some other way. You're not going to win the battle on social media. It's not going to work. And believe me, I'm very experienced with this, with all the stuff we deal with in Smith County. Did what now? Oh no, it's not that. Ours is just attacks. Yeah, it's just attacks. And I'll even give you another example that's not quite attacks, but we post things, positive things, and that's all I'm about, posting positive. But we redid a road out in the county. You redo it, and you put in a new bridge. Well, people complain beforehand because it's not done. And then they complain during the time, but that's fine. They're inconvenience, but we get it done, and then they gripe because people are speeding on the road. I can give you an example. I'm not joking. And they gripe, they want a sheriff's officer out there all the time, a deputy to run traffic. And I'm like, no, we can't do it. Oh, well, can you put in speed bumps? No, we don't put in speed bumps on county roads. We don't do that. So that's the kind of thing that happens to us often. And it's challenging. And then the other people are, what about my road? You going to fix my road? You're fixing their road. Why are you not looking at mine? So there's a lot of challenges out there. And I just try to immerse people in the good news and the positive things. That's just me. All right. One of the things that I just wrote, have y'all seen anything? I know a few of you have because you mentioned it, about our new courthouse. Okay. Some people are calling it a mosque because of the copper top and all this stuff. Anyway, it's a big, big building. And people still, they think the city's building it. They don't know. They just don't understand government and what's going on. And they always forget this was voter approved. People voted for us to build this. And so we have to remind them in a nice, cordial way that it was voter approved. All right, what about roadblocks? Some things don't work out always how they should. You're going to run into things. Who's got an example of something that just hadn't worked out lately? Sometimes you can veer. You can veer and you get past it, but sometimes you have to just do a U-turn and start over. Yes, sir.
So like I mentioned, we used to use our main home. Now the question is coming, are we going to get gas pumps? Because gas is so that's the roadblock for us as they travel.
Yeah.
Gas is expensive. So balance, we get raises, or how do we justify it?
Yeah. Well, we built a new, and I got very similar to that. We built a new courthouse, but it's going to take extra maintenance, extra housekeeping, extra security, because it's massive and it's going to grow. We're going to end up having more and more courts. We built for that space, which is great, but you have to adjust, you have to do things. And so okay, all right, very good, very good. All right, and one of the things that we just recently did, we had judges in the courts when we started to plan the courthouse, certain judges. Then other judges got elected. Well, in the first plans, we were working with some judges. The next round, we have other judges. So now the other judges are coming in and saying, hey, my group kind of wants to do something a little different in here. Well, it's all ordered. You know, we're spending $179 million. So we got all this stuff that's already ordered. Some of it's already in place. But we went and we're making some adjustments. That's not too critical, but it is an expense. But sometimes you really do have to work with people, mainly to show the faith that you have in them and that y'all trust each other and that, you know, that we care. We care. That's the main thing, is they want to know you care. And all right. Oh, who said? Somebody say something else? Okay. So hang on. Are y'all ready for this? Brace yourself right now. Everything on social media is not true. I want to make sure y'all got that. Everything on social media is not true. It really isn't. So what this thing that was supposed to be a free speech platform, and it started out showing food and everything, now we've got these keyboard warriors or sheep. Everybody following. They believe whatever they read and they just regurgitate it. And it's created a real monster. So I would like to know, do y'all have any examples of something like that you know you've watched it and you've watched people either follow or say something, you know, spit it back out, or even something that's just in the news these days that you're looking at going, man, I don't know if that's quite right. What do you know? I'm putting you on the spot. Oh, okay.
Just because you see it on Facebook and it looks legit, and she can't differentiate AI content.
Yeah. No, I got you. And I'm a little worried about that, cause the AI, because some people can't, you know, differentiate. And y'all know we've got, you know, AI's coming. Have y'all ever heard of these big centers that they're building? I swore I wasn't going to say that word in here. But they're building these big centers, and now that's all vilified, and there's some concerns that are, I think, legitimate, and so we're trying to find out everything we can about data centers. Well, a funny thing happened the other day. We are building on our second floor in the annex building where my courtroom is, right above the court. We're building an area for our IT. It's got all their equipment in it and everything. Well, he came to court the other day when he was coming to show all the things that he wanted for budget, Don Bell, our administrator, and he had up on the screen, it said, new data center. And it was on the screen. I just leaned forward and I said, it's not what y'all think it is. This is not what y'all think it is. So we changed the name to something else, IT equipment room or something. Anyway, there are challenges, and everyone jumps on it. If somebody says, flock cameras are a big deal right now, people are screaming about online, and there's concern, huh? Flock cameras are most of them are the license plate reader cameras that law enforcement's used a lot through the years, and different groups of law enforcement use it more than others, but there's privacy concerns that some have. And anyway, so there's a lot of opinions out there on it, and I have a feeling that there's a lot of ignorance out there. And when I say ignorant, I don't mean ugly. I mean they just don't know the facts. So I'm ignorant on a lot of things myself. So, all right. Put down that phone. All right. Who's an addict on their phone? Can you confess? Anybody? I can kind of be that way, but what I'm addicted to, I watch golf how-to videos. It doesn't help. I'm telling y'all right now, don't do it. And the other thing I watch is muscle cars and the ones that are for sale and that kind of stuff. One day, someday, I really won't. Yeah, I had a 68 Camaro, my first car, when I was 15 years old. Fixed it up for a year. First 6 months, wrapped it around a telephone pole. Yep. So that's my muscle car. So memories. So anybody else? Personal? Yeah. Yeah, it's easy. It's easy. So are we ruining, like when you go out to eat, and I know everybody's done it before, you've looked around and you've seen, sometimes you'll see families sitting there and they're all on their phones. And I I don't want to be one of those old people. I am, but one of those old people that says, oh my gosh, those were all better days, because technology has its place. And that's great. I'm terrible at technology, and I don't even mind sharing that. I depend on others for my techie help. But with this phone thing, my wife and I do one thing when we get home, and I know this doesn't really concern work or anything, but we have an east porch and a west porch. Well, the east porch in the evening is nice. So we go on that east porch, and the only thing we can use our phone for is background music. And then we sit out there and we talk. That's what she says. I listen, but we talk. But it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. We don't text. We don't do that. The ringers are off. Even if it buzzes, you can't, look. And so, yeah, it's wonderful. So I would suggest that. But just putting it down, I did read about a guy that he forgot to take his phone into the restroom with him. And he said he counted 271 pieces of tile in that bathroom because he didn't have his phone with him to keep him. I know, that's weak. All right. Yeah, I wanted to hear your experiences, but not about the toilet. So, all right, last one. This is the last one. I love you. So, is it hard for you to show appreciation and say I love you? Well, that's good if it's not, because it's really important. So I love you guys for being here and putting up with me this time. But I started doing something a couple of jobs ago. I started writing, and I know Brian pushes this, writing personal notes to people. What we had 600 medics and EMTs, so I had a bunch of people. Well, I'd get reports, and they're all over these multiple counties. I'd get reports in where someone would send a thank you online to our medic or EMT. And so I would take that, and I'd write them a personal note and mail it to them and say, I'm so proud of you. The public is seeing what you're doing and appreciating the care that you're giving them. And I'm telling you, it was remarkable. I've had people come up since I was away from that job that I didn't remember them. I mean, I didn't see most of these people anyway. They were all out in other areas, but they would come up to me and say, hey, I still got that note pinned up. So it's very, very meaningful, very meaningful. So if you've gotten one, it means the world. I've got several on my desk just kind of tinted up there. It's really, really important. So share with people that you care. You don't have to say love, but it's nice to be celebrated as well. So if somebody does something, let them know it. It's really important. So now, do y'all have any questions for me? This is really, truly all I had for y'all today. But if y'all want to ask, y'all can ask anything you want. Just not about those girlfriends earlier. But anything else? Y'all have any questions? All right. Okay.
Has there ever been a moment in your leadership career where you felt like God was holding you in a place and you were ready to move forward?
You know what? Mine's kind of interesting. I have left my jobs, like fire chief. I left when they wanted me to stay, and that's kind of been my philosophy. I don't tell everybody, y'all don't do that, but I felt like I had something else to do. I really was getting that feeling, and I felt like God was really leading me to do something else. I didn't even know what, but things have just kind of fallen in place for me. But I just said, I'm going. And it was kind of nice. You didn't get the boot, you actually left before you got that. So that was kind of nice. But I don't know that I've really run into that. And this will be my last position where I am now. I'm not wanting to go anywhere else. And I'm running unopposed this time in November, so I got 4 more years to stress through all this mess. So, yeah, go ahead. Okay.
When you were talking about worry, sometimes we get compulsive, our brain won't let go of something. Do you have a technique that you utilize to get your brain
To stop worrying? You know, for me, it's I kind of break it down and I look at what am I worrying about, and then I look at what's the worst that could happen. I mean, I know that seems cliche, but it really is when you look at what could happen about this. And most of the time, everything you worry about 3 months later, you can't even remember what you were worried about because it never happened and it never really accumulated to a point of being a problem. So that's usually what I do. Anybody else? All right. Y'all been wonderful. Thank y'all very much. I don't think I talked. Did I talk long enough? Okay. Anybody else need swag or y'all got plenty?